Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Blind. I'm Andrew Columbro, Walter Cronkite student at ASU, and currently an intern at Saavi Services for the Blind. We're here joined by Shannon Mandadi. Shannon, how are you doing today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Yeah, it's Friday. Can't complain.
Yay.
Super excited for the weekend.
Absolutely.
So Shannon, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what your role is at Saavi.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I've been at Savvy for a long time, but I've just changed roles, which is pretty exciting. So, I'm the fundraising and development manager. So I get to do really cool things like try to connect with people in the community, people to just help them understand what is our mission, what is it that what are we doing at Savvy, what are we trying to do in the community, and really try to connect with people to see if we can figure out, how we can collaborate together and partner and get some financial support. Of course, that's definitely important. But, more than that, we're just running to really spread our message and find, community partners.
Of course, yeah. That's quite interesting. And obviously now with everything virtual, it's probably a big transition just from a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. I mean, I think the cool thing that I didn't expect with everything going virtual is that I feel like people are still craving that connection, right? Still craving human connection and wanting to meet new people. And there's cool different events that are occurring. And doing it virtually has actually gone much better than I would have ever thought it might. So that's positive.
Yeah, human connection. It's like yeah, just even looking back at like old photos and stuff, it's so crazy. Just like it was
Yeah,
just so long ago. But
I
like with that,
know,
I know,
right?
yeah, true. And with that, I know that you are obviously family is very important to you. You have some kids on your own. You have a
Hmm.
daughter and a son.
Yeah.
Want to hear more about them?
All right. Well, they are the best kids ever, so I'm pretty biased, but they're amazing. I have a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, Ethan and Emma, and they're just amazing kids. I'm super lucky. My husband and I just feel like we just lucked out because they're wonderful kids. They are such a handful, and they're really strong-willed little people, which I love because I feel like that's a glorious thing to be, and I want them to be strong and smart and sassy. And then I have to remind myself of that at like 4 a.m. when my daughter was up this morning. And I was like, oh, she's really strong and smart and sassy and doesn't want to go to bed. So, yeah, they're amazing. And they're just I don't know, the greatest little people I've ever met. So I feel really grateful for them all the time.
Awesome. Yeah, and like with that, obviously, family is important. But in your terms and like in your own words, what does family mean to you?
Gosh, okay, it's such an interesting question. Because we use that word all the time, right? And like maybe don't really think about like what does it mean, but I guess for me, family are the people that I connect with that really just they nourish they nourish me, like they nourish my soul. Like I feel a connection to them that is like my meaning in life. Like I just feel like jobs are really important, and I think doing other things in the community are really incredible. But my family, for me, is just like that's it. That's like people want to figure out their meaning in life and like what matters and what are we on the earth for. And I feel like I got the answer. I'm solid. I know it's my family, and everything else is awesome, but it's icing. So that's it for
Yeah,
me.
for sure. It's definitely that great connection, especially being able to have that close knit community feel, which is always awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Talking about some connection that me and you have, I'm an ASU Sun Devil, and you have your degree in counseling from ASU.
Hmm.
So forks up.
Yeah. Go Devils.
And so yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how you got into counseling, what got you interested into it, and yeah, just like start from there.
Absolutely. I really remember being like 12 years old and realizing that I wanted to be a counselor after I realized that I wanted to be a famous actress. So just to clarify, that was number one. But if that didn't work out, which it hasn't yet, but I'm still, you never know.
Yeah.
But you just never know. But yes, at like 12, I remember being in like sixth, seventh grade. And I was super fascinated by other kids my age because I started to realize at that age, like, wow, there's some kids that are really mean. There's some kids that are really, seem like angry little people. Like, what's this about? And I just started becoming really interested in people's behavior and why were some kids really happy and nice and friendly and seemed to like school, and some kids seemed like they had a lot going on. And I didn't really understand it as a young, like a 12-year-old, but I did know something is different with some kids. And what is that about? So it started making me think, why do some people have certain behaviors and other people are different? Like, what causes that? So I started to, sort of be drawn towards psychology. So I got my bachelor's from ASU in psychology, which was amazing. I love ASU. It is clearly the best school in Arizona,
I
probably
agree.
in the country, right? Yeah, I think
Yep.
we agree on that. And I come from a very ASU family, so it was a great experience. Well, I ended up getting my master's is in marriage and family counseling, which I did get that from San Diego State, which is another fine school after ASU. But it was the greatest program because our focus at SDSU and marriage and family counseling is really about diversity, and it's really about like a systemic view of life and of situations, and just sort of looking at how you can help individuals and families and children, and sort of any dynamic that you have come into your office. How can you support these people sort of through the lens of what system they live in, which again, going back to my love for family, right? It feels really like a perfect fit for me because that lens really makes sense for me.
Awesome. And I think with that, that about wraps up this episode. Shannon, thank you so much for your insights and your time and effort. I hope you have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. You as well.
And remember, at Saavi, it's not about what you can see, it's about who you are.